Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, and welcome back to my chapter-by-chapter reviews of Zombie Powder. This will be chapter number 17, and yeah, now we get to finally see Smith's battle, and this is the one I was the most excited for. But first we have our B-side Naked Monkeys number 10 here. We have the Vault Watch brothers, those two random dudes. Remember way back in chapter, I think it was 8, that were guarding the vault in Calder's base where the Ring of the Dead was. Yeah, it's funny that it took Kubo this long to finally feature them. I guess he realized, oh shit, I forgot about these guys, or oh shit, I ran out of people to do an introduction on, because that was almost 10 chapters ago, man, get with the ball here. There's like no information on these guys either. It's just, you know, the brothers who work at the bank watchers in the second floor of the Calder's base, although I have to say one thing, I guess they're rather dedicated to their craft. I mean, this is apparently all they do. Like, Calder apparently said, alright, I'm gonna hire you, Burks DeCarlo and Bernard DeCarlo, and all I want you to do every day is just stand here next to this giant safe on the off chance that anyone ever makes it through this base, kills me, and then wants to steal the Ring of the Dead. And I guess they're really dedicated to this because they tattooed a V and a B on their faces in order to, I don't know, show their loyalty to Calder or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's them. The second person on the B-side Naked Monkeys is someone a little bit more interesting. It's Waffle, or Gweifel, or whatever. The Great Undead Box. His real name is Robert Gweifel. Height unknown, weight unknown. Date of birth is, okay, January 23rd. I don't know why I read that. He's 42 years old. Okay, a little bit older than I thought he was. And it was really cool that he had the appearance of him without him being in the box. Like, he actually had this awesome tattoo on his face, and his hair is kind of in this weird, you know, like it's on one side, but it's like a really long ponytail sort of thing. He has all these piercings and this like awesome handlebar mustache going on. Excuse me. He's a poor old man who has the most dramatic short life during the entire series. No, I don't think he has the shortest life. I think the shortest life would be like the random, like one of the Vault Watch brothers. I'm pretty sure Gamma killed one. I'm pretty sure one of them ran away, but the other one got like, you know, like he tried to shoot his gun and Gamma grabbed it and like discharged right into his face. So I don't know if he's dead, but that's probably the shortest, you know, appearance ever. This guy at least got a whole chapter. He almost managed to hurt Gamma. Let's just give it that much. You know, no matter how you look at it, it's a strange location of his head is the charm point when he's in the box, but this is appearance when he's out of the box, and he draws him like that. Okay, I get it. Nobody will be happy if I include this. Okay, yeah. This one was kind of weak, Kubo. Sorry, this one was a little bit weaker, but that doesn't matter now. Let's head back to the beginning of this chapter. Hold on, They started putting these B-side Naked Monkeys at the end of the chapter, so I have to cycle back. It's weird. Alright, so chapter begins with the end of the climax of Elwood and Pyromania Pounder. I guess that's his actual name. I'm sure that's not his legitimate name. Maybe when he gets a Naked Monkeys, we'll find out his real name. But yeah, Pounder, whatever. So, you know, he's ignited. He's freaking on fire. He's flaming up in the he's like the Human Torch right now. And Elwood's just like, later. I can't believe that you got defeated by just a kid, but whatever, you know, and he just starts to walk away. And, you know, I'm totally sure that even he's surprised by all this. Like, holy shit, I didn't believe I actually could beat you. Okay, totes, man, see ya, bro. You know, so he starts running away, and he kind of gets, like, the conscious catching up with him. You know, like the little angel appears on his shoulder, and little devil, and devil's just like, let the son of a bitch burn! And the little angel's just like, you can't let him burn. He's not, you don't even know him that well. So Elwood turns around and he kind of extinguishes the flames. I don't know if he like dumps water on him. He just like extinguishes it with his cloak. But yeah, in typical anime manga fashion, don't worry. Despite the fact that he was completely bathed in oil and ignited, he doesn't even have so much as a first-degree burn on his body. It's okay. It's good. His skin had the consistency of iron. So he used Blute Vein. We're good. We're okay. He's perfectly fine. And he's just like, what are you doing? You're my enemy. And Elwood's line here, I guess because he's in a hurry, Elwood's line here is just so rushed. It's just like, it's a typical manga thing that he says. It's a typical trope. It's just like, you don't need to die because you're my enemy. Receive the pain and change your ways. Okay, don't do any more bad things. Bye. That's essentially what he does, and he crams it all in just one panel. It's kind of funny, and Pounder's looking at him just like, the hell, boy, what the hell are you doing? So, Elwood, I guess, just, you know, extinguishes the fire, then just exits the tent. I don't know if he's planning on chasing after Gamma, because I don't know where he goes. I mean, like, the magic train's probably, like, 10, 20 miles away at this point. I mean, Gamma might have a chance to catch up to it because he could fly. But, you know, unless Mystic has, like, the Joker mobile parked out back, I don't think you're going to be able to catch up to Gamma. But anyway, we get the title page of the chapter, Track 17. The Hyena is calling, Craze and Triggerhappy. You know, the funny thing is with these, I'm never upset by the fact of what the chapter is actually called, because I know Kubo does like he's doing like tracks from an album or for like a CD, and there's a lot of tracks on CDs that are really long, and like Redux version, this kind of version, 2, 3, 4, 5, he does that kind of shit. But the only thing I'm upset by is every time there's a long chapter title like this, it always is really hard to put into YouTube because you can barely see half the title on the title of the video because it crops after a certain point. What are you going to do? So we cut over to Smith, who's in the other section of the tent, who's kind of just listening into the wall. I guess he was listening in on Elwood's fight because he was kind of concerned about him. He's just like, it has become quiet. Did he win or did he die? And then he turns to his opponent, who we don't even see yet. He's like, hey, what do you think? And then, plunk, like the freaking knives just hit him to the right of his head. And I'm just like, oh, dude, knife thrower, yes. Little bit disappointed on this for 2 reasons. Number one, the knife thrower didn't fight against Elwood. I mean, okay, this guy probably would have kicked Elwood's ass, at his own craft. But I'm just saying, for the sake of, you have a knife master versus the only other character we know that throws knives for a main battle offense. So whatever. And the second thing that I'm a little upset by is Smith doesn't even mention this. Smith, I was expecting to have like a throwaway tack, like, oh, this guy uses knives too, or oh, hey, I know a guy that uses knives. He doesn't even mention him at all. It's kind of weird, Anyway, so the guy who's throwing the knives, he's just like, what are you trying to pull? You're just running around this freaking room like you're trying to make fun of me, or are you just scared of fighting me? And Smith's just like, no, it's because I'm trying to make a fool out of you. That's you nailed got the nail on the head right there. So this guy right now, he's pretty cool. He's also wearing one of the cloaks. I'm noticing this is kind of a thing. And his room, Pounder's room was kind of covered with the torches. This guy's room is covered with a bunch of bullseye targets that are numbered, around him, like 1, 2, 3, that are like numbered all around him. And they go up to number 15. So Smith is just looking at the guy. He's not even treating the guy seriously. This guy's chucking knives at him all over. Like, I'm sure this guy's accuracy is really freaking good too. And Smith's dodging them like nothing. Like, he's not even attempting to like jump or move out of the way. He's the kind of cool customer where like he sees like these 3 knives heading right for him. He's just like, oh damn, that was scary, kind of. And the guy's just like, if you think that guns are going to win over knives, you're making a big mistake. Okay, this guy's going to get shot so fucking much in this chapter. I'm just expecting it. Any other person? Yeah, okay, guns might not be that good. I'm sure you're an expert knife thrower. Yeah, C.T. Smith, though. You're going down here. Anyway, he reveals himself by actually literally cutting off of his cloak. He doesn't take off his cloak. He uses his knives and literally with such precision, just like slices his freaking cloak off, and his mask as well, revealing that he's wearing another mask. So that whole cloak thing, how did he see out of that? Wearing a mask and then you're wearing another mask over that mask. Like, what's the friggin' point? I mean, his eyes weren't covered, but what the hell's the point anyway? He announces himself that this is the multitold Falzon's blades. So his name's Falzon, I guess. He's the knife thrower of the act of the circus. And he's just like, I will throw you with the unescapable attack, or the unescapable blade. I can never miss, that kind of shit. And Smith's just like, but I've been escaping them so far. I mean, you're good. You're throwing them with pretty good accuracy, but I can avoid them just fine. So this guy's just like, Falzon's just like, okay, I'll give you a throw that's unescapable. So he throws just a single knife, and it just kind of spins like a boomerang, and Smith this time doesn't even move an inch. He just like tilts his neck a little bit to the left just so it can fly around him. It just like, the hell was that? There was no difference there. And Falzon's just shouts, number 11. And as soon as he said number 11, I knew where they were going with this, obviously. I'm pretty sure anyone could figure it out. Gee, this entire room is filled with bullseyes numbered 1 to 15, and he just said number 11. I wonder what's going to happen. So sure enough, just like a boomerang, the knife stops in midair and sends it straight again toward Smith, or like more in terms like Smith is standing right in front of target 11, so it's heading directly for target 11. But once again, Smith is a pretty clever dude. He's probably more intelligent than Gamma. Actually, that's probably confirmed. He's more intelligent than Gamma. Gamma's the muscle, but Smith is a muscle as well, but he's also a more, he can, figure out stuff. He's more better at focused during combat. He keeps a level head and that kind of shit. He's kind of the prerequisite. I called him Urahara earlier, but now I think he's like more of the prerequisite for Uryu. Maybe like Uryu and Urahara combined together, like did the fusion dance, that you get C.T. Smith essentially. So he figures out like fucking immediately, like, oh, 11, oh shit, target 11. Okay, so he dodges that. And sure enough, the knight hits bullseye right there, knocks off his hat, but we're all good. He does manage to get his ear just like nicked a little bit here, but he manages to avoid any kind of major damage. He even manages to pick up back his hat and just pops it right back on his head, didn't even touch the ground. So he's just like, in other words, you can just bend your knives to hit any target in this room. And he lays the exact, layout of the room. He's like, okay, there's 15 targets, they're lined up from right to left, and they have, from your right it starts at 1 over to 15. And Smith comes up with the obvious conclusion. He's just like, well, as long as I avoid the targets, because if you say like number 5, it has to hit the bullseye on number 5. So as long as I avoid the targets and the bullseyes, as long as I stay away from them, I'll be good to go. And this still isn't even close to being an unescapable blade. I don't exactly know what you're referring to here. To add to it all, in the middle of this whole thing, I think he picks up like a handkerchief or something he kept in his lapel pocket, and he just goes up and he just like dabs the blood away from the side of his ear, like on his face, and he's just like, wow, yes, that's such a interesting move you have right there. He's such an arrogant son of a bitch. I love him so much. He doesn't even take anybody seriously, really. So Falzon gets a little bit irritated by this, and he's just like, okay, well, I could do this too. Come on out, my precious little sisters. I'm like, okay, where's this going? Is this a sex thing or something? What's going on? Well, it turns out that each of the targets begin to like T-1000 essentially, begin to like liquid metal began to pour out of the walls with titties. Apparently, that's very interesting there. But anyway, yeah, they all pour out. And apparently, there's the 15 targets were actually 15 little sisters to Falzon, and they all have really revealing like S&M clothing shit on. Like you could see like their like boobs are very well exposed. They're all wearing scarves, and they all have the number that they came out of tattooed on their heads. This is their act, apparently. This is what there is. Like Falzon is like the ringleader of these of his sisters, and they he uses his knife throwing act, and that's just how they do it or whatever. So 15 sisters though, 16 people in that family. Jeez, I mean I've known my big families, but damn, that's something. I'm an only child, so that's just incomprehensible to me. Their mom had to freaking work cut out for her. Let me freaking tell you. But anyway. He's like, thank you for coming out, my precious little sisters. We have a new enemy today. Plus, he's a fool who doesn't recognize who the Falzon family is. Apparently, they were once feared all over the continent as the ruthless assassins, now working for Mystic, because I guess Mystic, was like, oh yeah, you can throw knives and you have these 15 sisters, in your entourage. That's pretty badass. Come join my circus. We can have so much fun. So I guess Falzon joined up with Mystic, and that's where they go. We don't exactly get a wanted ranking on Falzon, exactly what his ranking is, but considering the fact that he's probably pretty high ranked in the circus, and Guifel was A0, he's probably ranked, A0 or A1 or something like that. Anyway, so he's just like, kill that one man, my little sisters, and they're like, that's an easy order, brother. So they all go like massive dancing, like whirlwind all around the freaking room, like freaking a bunch of jumping beans, and they're just jumping around the freaking room. And Falzon, you could kind of figure out where this is going. They're all like sporadic around the room. CT can't keep up, so he just starts chucking the knives. He's not even aiming anymore because he doesn't even have to give a designation on where the knives are going to go, because the sisters can do that themselves. So he throws like 4 knives towards Smith, and the girls are jumping all around him like, come to 7, come to 8, come to 10, come to 2, and they're just jumping all over the place here. And this is the really fucked up part of the chapter. Okay, this is the fucked up part. Smith was able to dodge the majority of these, because even though, they're zipping around all over the place, and he has to keep track of all the different numbers, he has to keep track of how many knives are in the air, and he has to keep track of the numbers that they are saying, they could still, like, I don't know if, like, number 4 has to say, come to number 4, because it would be really freaking confusing if it's, like, number 4 can say, come to number 8, because then, I don't know how the hell he would be able to keep up then, but, he's Smith, so I can assume he would. Once again, very good at tactical. Here's the fucked up part, though. When he dodges it, and the knives manage to hit the girls, the bullseyes are all situated, like, in their, like, right here in the center of their chest, so whenever the knife hits them, they act like they have a freaking, like they're in ecstasy, like orgasm, and I'm just dude, I keep looking over here, dude, what the hell? Just like come to 2. Oh yes, that's I love being penetrated there. What the fuck, dude? These are your sisters, man. Does this count as incest? I don't know, but it's pretty effed up. Anyway, number 4, grabs, Smith from behind and like reaches her hand and like puts him in a deadlock, and I think number 10 also grabs him too. So, and then, it gets him in like a full Nelson and just like, come to number 4. And of course, the target is now situated directly because like she's attached to, Smith's back. So the knife comes right to him. And I guess Smith realizes, well, I'm going to get hit either way. So there's no way I'm going to get out of this in time. So he just like raises up his arm and he gets stabbed in the arm. But that doesn't even seem to faze the dude. He's sitting there with a knife buried like an inch into his arm. And he's just like, oh wow, you guys, you managed to hit me. That's actually pretty good. And he manages to get nailed again and again and again because Falzon is just whipping these things freaking out like freaking, I don't know, like confetti or something. So, he's getting shredded. And in the middle of getting shredded, though, Smith just kind of looks up in his creepy smile, and he's completely composed, not a drop of sweat on this guy's face. And he's just like, this is the first time in a while I've felt fun. And he says fun, really creepy. Like it's in a black speech bubble, and he's just like, fun. And the second he says that, Falzon is just like, oh, well, what do you mean by that? And then click, boom, dead. Like, they all drop like flies. All 15 of them just down. And you know what Smith did? He took out his freaking gun and he unloaded 15 shots, 15 dead bodies. Click, done, because that's how he rolls. And the whole time, I didn't notice this until just now, whole time, he was holding on to his briefcase. Like, what the hell is in that briefcase that's so damn important? Like, I know you can use it as like a shield, but not a very impromptu shield. Like, what's actually in it? I mean, I could just say something simple like more guns and more ammo, but I want to think there's something more important in there than just guns and bullets. I like to think there's something like really interesting he's keeping in that suitcase to lug it around all over the freaking place. But as you can well imagine, Falzon's pretty shocked by this, that his 15 little sisters just got, bullet in their heads essentially, and they all drop to the ground. And he freaks out and he throws some more knives at Smith, and Smith, he dodges it, and he's just like, you said something about unescapable speed. Excuse me, I think the phrase unreachable speed should be used for fwing, flash step, something like this. So he basically did use freaking Shumpo or here in Gyaku or something, and he just zipped right behind freaking this guy. Okay, this is beyond normal. Okay, this is beyond, like, we knew he was kind of superhuman at some point, but for the most part I could believe him. Like, he's fast, but okay, some humans can be really fast. He's a great shot with his gun, okay, some humans are really insanely good with target shooting, but this was like lightning speed. This was like speed of sound. There's something different about this guy. He might have used some other kind of martial arts skill, not like Karin Zanjutsu from Gamma, but he might have some other kind of ability that he hasn't been revealed yet, because no normal human, even in the context of zombie powder, should be this fast. Even Falzon, who's doing his weird, knife-throwing acrobatic game with magic or whatever he's doing, is shocked by this, right? So Smith appears right behind him, points the gun right in the back of his fucking head, just says, this is what real unreachable speed is, and he's just like, who are you? I'm CT Smith. CT, that means you can't be, bang, just shoots him right, point blank, no remorse, no freaking more talking, just shoots him in the back of the head, dead. Just dead. And I just have to reiterate the fact that this would never happen in Bleach now. Because no bullshit, no talking, no nothing. You just show, like, imagine if Ichigo just showed up behind a main villain. He doesn't have to be a main villain. Doesn't have to be Grimmjow, because this Falzon's not a main villain. He's just kind of like fodder. Imagine Ichigo fighting against, I don't know, freaking Dordoni. Dordoni's a good example, And, he just shows up in Lost Noches. He goes Hollow Mask, and, he just appears right behind freaking Dordoni, grabs his head, and just like, who are you? I'm Ichigo Kurosaki. Wait, then that means slice. And just cuts his freaking neck, like jugular, just dead right there. Like, lops off his freaking head just for good measure. That would never happen in Bleach. No character acts that way in Bleach. Even the main villains don't work that way in Bleach. We had, okay, maybe the Stern Ritters. Okay, the Stern Ritters are like the first main villains that just no bullshit, that just cut people down. But before them, nobody even did this. Even the wrong cards didn't do this. All right, it's just a welcome change, and that's the end of the chapter. Smith is just like, I'm Smith. I'm just CT Smith. That's all you need to know. And obviously, Falzon recognized his name, because he said CT Smith. But I want to know what the CT, means now. Maybe that's the reason he's just been calling himself as, the initials, not actually as his name. Because maybe if he called himself as his real name, maybe that's the thing everyone would recognize. Maybe it's just like, oh, my name is A Hitler. Like, wait a second, does that mean you're Adolf? No, I'm just A Hitler. You know, so maybe it's something like that. Maybe his full name is something really well known and really recognized. That's why Foul Zone, you know, kind of freaked out, because he broke out. I mean, he was already sweating before that, but he went like Niagara Falls type. He's just like, he just like dropped the load in his pants. Like, oh crap, you're that guy that bang, just shoots him. So he had a quick death if nothing else. Foul Zone was cool. I liked the chapter. I liked Smith's fight. It was a little bit more interesting than I thought. I thought it was going to go like along the same lines as Gamma's, where, you know, he just says, don't fight me or I'm going to kill you. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to fight you. Well, okay, well, I'm going to kill you. And he just like slices him in half, and that's the end of the freaking chapter. But this one was pretty cool. Next chapter, I don't know where we're going to go from here. I guess either Smith and Elwood trying to catch up to Gamma in some way, or Gamma taking on Mystic. That's the only other, you know, things I can go with that. I don't know if there's going to be anyone else in the tent, or, you know, like second Garrison that shows up. He's like, oh crap, they defeated the 3 main guys. We're screwed now, man. I don't know what's going to go down. But anyway, hope you liked my review. Thank you for watching. Tekking101, 10,000 subs. Signing out.